my topic. In increasing your joy, increasing love, in increasing your well-being. So let's call this topic the power of increase. And the power of increase has, isn't it interesting, the word increase, a crease is like a crease in my sweater, so an increase, that could be how you multiply things. So increase your joy and your happiness. Okay. One of the ways is to give up sentimentality and nostalgia. Because the problem with sentimentality and nostalgia, you're not here in the now and being able to enjoy the true supreme pleasure of your soul. And that we're pleasure seekers. And that love of God is supreme pleasure for the soul. And I don't mean G-O-D, or backwards it's D-O-G, or it's out on a spaceship, or it's out floating somewhere. And it's going, none. You know what we mean. Our source, the supreme being, that we are beings and we are part of. That is our nature, the quality of our divine nature, who we are, our resource, our partner, our beloved, our you might call source, who we are and what we're made of, and our capabilities and abilities. Sentimentality and nostalgia, it makes a person feel like what they had and the joy they had then is gone, it's over. It was only back there. Or the nostalgia of, oh, if I could only do it again. And you will, over and over and over, because you want to do the same thing over and over and over. And what people do. So this nostalgia and sentimentality robs us of the joy of our own being, and in harmony and in partnership with each other, because we're all made of the same fabric of the divine. And that's who we are as living entities. Our nature is compassion. Our nature is giving. Our nature is generosity. When people are infected with the mind virus, their nature is miserliness. Their nature is anger, competition. And they always think everybody's competing with them. That someone's trying to play one-upsman on them at some reason. I don't know. They haven't, because if your mind is in competition because you're competing or you don't feel good enough, then you think everybody else is competing also, because we tend to then to project on other people what's going on with us instead of owning our own stuff. And when you do that, you realize it really wasn't your stuff. Had to do with what you believed, what you were taught, what you were told, what you read, what you saw, and all of that we took in and identified with. So this nostalgia then is always looking in the back to when it was better, when it was a happier time, when it was a better time. Time is never good anyway, because we are not time. Time is a game. It doesn't exist anywhere, but you have a watch so you can watch it. And everybody, how much time do you have left? I'm an eternal being. Okay. I'm a watchdog in a sense that I know the importance of being conscious and being who we are in every moment, rather than who we were, or who we thought we were, or who they were, or we thought they were, or that story or that incident that the mind made up into this big old thing that says who we are, and we could feel sadness and sorrow because it's not the way it was when I was a kid. And then I remember that I got this bicycle once for Christmas. My first bike. I wanted, it was a Schwinn, I think, probably blue. I think it was blue, yeah. And that first day of Christmas, the kids all had their bikes, and there's one boy, he didn't have a bike, and he said, well, could I ride your bike? And I said, well, yeah, he was a boy, and have it. Okay, fine, he could ride my bike. Well, he didn't come back, and then when I went to find my bike, it was in the street because a truck had run over it. And that was my Christmas bike. But you know what? I mean, it was okay. I guess it wasn't really too traumatic because I found a way to, I think we fixed the bike. I think that was it. We got the bike fixed, or I got another. But whatever it was, we could have all this traumatic stuff, or we could have had all those good times when we were all together, and now we're not together. They're gone. What are you doing now? Why are you torturing yourself? See, nostalgia and sentimentality is sticky and it's ugly. And it's not that it's say what's wrong to appreciate all that, and you take a look, and when we're living in nostalgia and sentimentality, that's the belief that the best is over and gone because I'm too old and I'm going to be dying, or this isn't going to happen, or we're divorced, or my parents are this. Whatever it is, you are not the stuff. And when and then this nostalgia and sentimentality is such a damper, and it keeps us locked in narratives and stories of yesterday that probably we made up. Well, the mind makes up the stories, and that's why you can't argue about it, because everybody's truth says their story is correct, but there is absolute truth. And when you go back to the absolute truth, you go back to who you are, okay? Nothing has ever harmed or hurt any of us. And bliss is our nature. Joy is our nature. Love is our nature. And that right now, if whatever's going on, in someday in the future, you will look back and go, gosh, that was just really great. Oh, I wish I was there now. How about if you be here now? And you be where, and I also have the book I'm working on called Be There Now, because nobody wants to be here. But where do you want to be? Well, I want to be back there where everybody was together. It was fine. How did you feel? Well, I felt good. Well, okay, go back there, pick up the feeling again, and now you can have the feeling. Because your nature is feeling. That's who you are. That's what you are. You're a feeling being. And as a feeling being, the nature of the soul is that. And then when we skew our feelings, we get emotions. We get the anger, the resentment, the sorrow, this. And what is anger? It's just hurt. Anger is higher than apathy, because a lot of people don't even want to feel anything because they'll never feel again. And those are choices. I'll tell you, my first husband gave me the greatest gift. And I'll tell you what it was. I know, I'm just doing numbers, not, whatever. But anyway, I was being criticized very heavily. And stop, please don't. Please stop criticizing. I can't take it. So anyway, I had a dozen eggs, and I'm standing in the kitchen. And I said, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. That's what I'm going to do. I'll have a nervous breakdown. I'm starting to think about it. And he's just, going on, whatever it is. So I take those eggs and I throw them against the kitchen wall. Down go those eggs, all the yolks and stuff, all the way down. And I fall onto the floor. And on the floor, there I am. And you know what he says? Great line. You're going to have to clean that up, What a great gift that was, I have to tell you. Because, you're going to have to clean it up, And what that means is, how do we clean it up? Hey, appreciate it all. And then it's all a gift. And when you do that the greatest and the best, how you increase, it's the power of increase, it's not really increasing what's available. It's increasing yours and my experience of those qualities and feelings of the love, the joy, the enthusiasm, the compassion, the caring, the the fun, the life force, the genius, and we'll do more of that. And to also know, don't ever say that's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Yeah, in one way, maybe you don't want to go back there. But you are eternal. They're beyond time. And right now is the first moment of the rest of your eternal successive moments of now. Let yourself feel and be right now okay. Because you are. And we don't need to keep punishing ourselves, torturing ourselves, abusing and hating ourselves because we coulda, shoulda, woulda, and we weren't. Or it shoulda, woulda, and it wasn't. With nostalgia and sentimentality and blah, 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 all over ourselves. Pick yourself up. Dust yourself off. Start all over again. And know that you are an eternal being. And no one or anyone can harm you for who you are. This is the greatest work there is. And when you claim yourself, my dear, there is no limit to the amount of increase, bountifulness, flourishing, thriving that's possible for you. Take a breath. Breathe into your heart. Let's get in the spirit of it. Give with love where you can. Receive what others are giving with love and appreciation. Let's move into the season of giving and receiving, the season of music and song, the season of friends and sharing and feasting and celebrating the divine, the sweetness, the love of spirit and soul, and who we are. Help somebody with, if you can, and allow someone to help you if you need it. And yet, how we empower ourselves and increase is when we give, because you always have enough to give, even if it's a smile, even if it's a pat on the back, even if it's a sharing of half an apple, whatever it may be, or just the encouragement. Do you know? Interesting. I realized I married somebody because he put a hand on my back nicely. And that hadn't happened for a long time, many years ago. Just your hand on somebody's back. And you don't have to take people into your house or your home or your place anywhere that isn't a loving person. No. You have to honor yourself. You have a right. Nobody gives it to you. Divine, eternal, infinite, unlimited rights. But there's no right, it's not right or wrong. Abilities, qualities. Increase them. Okay. Breathe into your heart. Yeah, the best is now.